guys. So, take a look at this. This is something that I came across in my storage. A bunch of old stuff that I was just kind of going through, but I actually had an idea to try and locate this, and just happened to find it the other day. This is actually an old trapper notebook or, folder, basically. You can see by the colors and the style that it's from the 80s. So yeah, this actually happens to contain a bunch of old music stuff. And this was sort of my little collection of notes and music and so forth on paper when I was first learning how to play guitar. So most of this stuff is probably going to be from late 80s, early 90s. And I figured it'd be fun to go through it, so let's see what we have inside. So this first piece of paper is how to adjust the neck with an adjustable truss rod. And basically, a truss rod is a metal rod that runs through the middle of the neck of a guitar. And it allows you to adjust the tension, which would change the shape, whether it bows forward or whether it leans backward. And depending on what kind of problem you may have with your guitar's neck, if it's not shaped correctly, you can use the truss rod to try and make an adjustment to that. So, alright, so that's that. Look at this. So, these little floppy records, you could find these in Guitar Player magazine, 33 1/3 speed. So yes, back in the 80s we still used record players, and there you go. This one has Steve Morse on one side and Kazumi Watanabe on the other. But basically, each time you'd get a Guitar Player magazine, it would have lots of instructional kinds of articles, and very often they would include these little floppy records, which would have maybe one or two songs included. Roy Buchanan on this one. Doesn't look like it has anything on the other side. Looks like they're called sound pages. Sound page. There you go. Adrian Belew. I have to admit, some of these are not too familiar for me, so possibly I pulled them out just to keep them all together, but maybe didn't use them. This one's Alan Holdsworth. He was an amazing guitar player. I suppose you could say still is, but some pretty insane technique with his left hand. He was really able to stretch his fingers apart. This is Robert Cray Band with Eric Clapton. Looks like most of these are only one-sided. Stanley Jordan, oh yeah. He's, y'all, if you're into serious guitar playing for technique and just beautiful innovation, Stanley Jordan's amazing. He does a lot of two-handed hammer-on stuff. So his right hand reaches over and basically taps notes, but he uses all 4 fingers to do that. Pretty amazing. Basically accompany himself, So you can have a lot going on. And this one looks like sponsored by Marshall. Frank and Dweezil Zappa on one side. Alright, what do we have here next? Looks like we have a Gig magazine from February 1988. Look at that. There's a lot of interesting stuff in here. Richard Marx. Wow. Yeah. Basically just, advice on gigging and, for your band or whatnot. Looks like here we have a handwritten tab by yours truly. Silent Scream. It's a Slayer song. And I tend to, when I write the tab out, I pretty much use shorthand. I, don't draw all the lines. I just kind of make a note of what the fret numbers are. And just some little hints. I mean, once you got it in your head, you kind of just need a few notes here or there that you have to make sure you get right. Here's Live Undead, which is another Slayer song. Again, my handwriting for when I tapped it out. This is Circle of Beliefs, yet another Slayer song. Yeah, sometimes I'll just write the chord, not even put the tab per se. But, yeah. Look at that. Circle of Beliefs has 14 riffs. 15 riffs to remember. So, pretty cool. And here we go. Getting into... Now, when I started taking guitar lessons, this would be about 1986, I believe. My guitar teacher basically gave me some sheets to start with of things like chord charts, fingerboard chart. This is all like the notes. So this was blank. I actually wrote all that in. But yeah, these chords are just different chords that you need to memorize. There's more of it here. Looks like this is the pentatonic scale. And it shows you the different positions you can play it in. Some more chord diagram stuff. Chromatic. Stuff like that. Aha, look at that. My old guitar teacher's name is on here. David John. From Hart Brothers Music in Salt Lake City. That was a long time ago. But yeah, this is a guitar tab for Little Guitars by Edward Van Halen. So yeah, at one point I actually did know how to play this. Probably couldn't play it now, but do have the sound of it in my head. Here's some more Van Halen guitar tablature for Spanish Fly. Really cool. And there's some more. Is this page 2 of that? Yes, it is. This goes together, these two. But yeah, there you go. Edward Van Halen back in the 80s. This is transcribed by Steve Vai. So he actually did the tab of all this. Let's see. Now I think we're getting into some jazz stuff that I might have learned. Yeah, Windows. It's Chick Corea. Jump Monk by Charles Mingus. And these are basically just chord charts, so you kind of have some idea of the movements, but it doesn't really tell you note for note how to play the songs. You gotta figure that out somewhat. At this point in my playing, I kind of didn't need everything spelled out completely, but it was kind of nice to, have something different to play, because mostly I was playing rock and metal. So, Chipmunk. I think I can remember how that sounds in my head. It's a very bouncy song. Toccata in D minor. Yeah. Every haunted house should have a recording of this. Looks like this was also tabbed by my old guitar teacher. Unlike the stuff over here was given to me by a guitar teacher when I lived in Colorado by the name of Neil Haverstick. And he still plays in Colorado, as far as I know. Plays all kinds of different music, plays with the symphony, plays jazz, plays fusion, whatever, rock. Very good guitar player. But yeah, this is from my original guitar player all those years ago in Salt Lake. So it looks like some of this stuff is all mixed together. Cherokee, here's another bit of jazz. Here we have the solo to Crazy Train. Yep. Probably still could pull that one off if I tried. There's D. Another bit of Randy Rhoads stuff. And Diary of a Madman. Probably just the intro. But yeah, really cool stuff. Back when I was a kid, that was just amazing to even be able to have any idea how to play that kind of stuff. And last, we have Secrets. Yeah, that's nice. That's a really, I love that song. It's so smooth. It's it's on Diver Down, which is not a well-loved album certainly not by Eddie Van Halen himself, but probably a lot of fans. But I don't know. I thought it was really cool. Oops. So yeah, pretty amazing. But yeah, cool stuff. All right. Well, looks like I'm running through some time pretty fast here, so I better hurry up with the other side. Looks like I've got a Ren and Stimpy record. Look at that. Probably on colored vinyl. Yeah, it is. Look at that. Crazy. Alright. Now let's get to the mother lode. In 1989, I was a senior in high school. Guy named Vic Trigger came out to the Denver area. He's an instructor for GIT, that's Guitar Institute of Technology out in Hollywood. So he was doing seminars in different cities, and luckily there happened to be one in Denver when I was living nearby in my senior year in high school. So I went to it. It was basically an excuse to play guitar for 8 hours. But this is the pack that he gave out. So he came with a tape of just some music, that you can just kind of solo over, kind of improvising. And I've got some chord forms and stuff like that, some scales to play with. But this pack has all kinds of just amazing stuff, and maybe one day I'll make a whole video just on this, just on the guitar stuff that's in this, because this is pretty awesome stuff. Just a lot of things to do with soloing, with chord awareness. Yeah. Speed technique, how to actually work on your precision and your speed so that you could play fast, but not just fast and sloppy, but fast and accurate. So there's lots of exercises, different ways of playing the chromatic scale, which everybody probably knows how to play, but there's lots of different variations you can do that really improve your technique a lot. So, lots of patterned playing. Talking a lot about arranging notes so that your alternate picking is very efficient. But yeah, I'm going to have to take the staple out of this so I can put it in a, oh yeah, the cross string stuff is really tricky stuff to play. But I'm going to have to take the staple out of this pack so that I can more easily flip through. There's a little supplement on sweep arpeggios, that is. Modes. Now this is really good stuff to know. When you're playing a scale, when you're playing over a song and you got a solo break that's all diatonic, it doesn't change key, it's good to know the modes so that you can still use one scale to kind of change the mood quite a lot. So just by playing the same scale in different positions, that's what modes are. So anyway, more on modes. And still more on modes. There's lots of stuff you can do with just that. And then they've got some empty space for you to fill in other things. Yeah, excellent. I hope I still have this tape somewhere. I'm going to have to figure out how to make a CD out of it. Let's see, what do we have here? Ah, yes. A buddy of mine, when I lived in Los Alamos, made me a bunch of punk stuff. It was just a mixtape. And this is a list of all the songs on there. I mean, it's all kinds of stuff. Misfits, Exploited, GBH. What else do we have in here that's really cool? Some Minor Threat. He was nice enough to write out the lyrics too on some of these. Yeah. Pretty cool. Who did Black Days? That was a really cool song. Wasted Youth. Yeah, I really liked that. Okay. Yep. More lyrics. Ah, look what I have. More sheet music for Van Halen, obviously. First 3 or 4 years, Van Halen was somewhat important. I never became like an Eddie Van Halen enthusiast. Like I didn't spend a lot of time working on the tapping stuff or whatever. Panama, that was a really cool song. So that's nice to have. Yeah, good stuff. What else? Ice 9, that's by Joe Satriani. That's really cool. Really cool. Guitar-oriented music. Looks like I have the entire song in here. Yep. I'm running very low on time, so I'm pretty much going to have to end this right here, but got some guitar clinic from Nick Bocott from Grim Reaper. And there's Neil Haverstick, my old guitar teacher. So, alright you guys, I hope you enjoyed this. We'll do another one for putting this in the sleeves. Have a good night.